Off goes the rocket. Kill this thing quick before you spend too much time making stuff. Get rid of these. These and these. You are going to come over here. About space. Thank you. You are going to get a splitter. That fits. Good. You're going to come up like this. You're going to insert. Get you hooked up with a heat pipe to do that. Yeah. And then how far can I shoot one of these things? Far enough, it turns out. And then you'll come around like this. You... Oh, how are you going to get that? No, you can get that in there just fine. There'll be an underground here. That lets this sneak in. Only one silo for Aquilo? Absolutely only one silo. We're not making things that fast. And then this we can back up. Because you, I'd like to come out over here. Light it over by one. Then you can run a heat pipe next to it. You can heat that just fine. And then figure out how to connect this and you're home free. It's actually just like that. So that's blue in. Let's build your 4 expansion hubs. All you need is LDS. You should have plenty. Steel, LDS. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be more space than we'll ever need for this thing. Basically ever again. And then this is going to be the heat pipe for our... Oh, we don't need any more inserters on this side. Actually, we're fine. I don't need you for anything. One, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. No more space woes on this thing. You are fine. Oh, I need to build... I need your, like, buildy parts. Hey, you're already committed to doing this with the logistics network, so... Just do it with the logistics network. $50 and 100. Pull heat pipe down. Knock yourselves out. Knock yourself out. So we're able to build rockets again. We have more space freed up for our cargo landing pad. We can come and put all of this infrastructure in place. We're down a rebel port? Really? Did I not send enough of those down? May not have sent enough of those down. We also need more cryo plants. No, I think you're out of concrete. Yeah, you're out of concrete. Alright. You do still need 2 more cryo plants. You can have some of these. You can have some of these. You definitely have some of these. And you can have some of these. You get to work. You're going to need to figure out how to power this. That should be very easy. I actually want to move you over by one. Because then I can fit a nice little power pole into you. You power pole here, nice on the grid. Here's your cryo plants. Lithium's chugging away. Alright, now you can set up your circuit manufacturer. And it's definitely going to go here. Also, this needs to be a priority splitter. Cryo on right side, please. Power grid's holding up fine. Don't worry about that. You can also auto request. No, wait, hold on. Wrong. It's because you're using an inserter already. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Personal roboport off. Get outside of construction bot range. 3, 5, 6, 7. This will be your cold fluoroketone out. This will be your hot fluoroketone in. On this side, we can just belt. This will be output. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Except you're going to need to go underground, probably like here. And then you're going to have heat pipe here. You're going to have power here. That covers all of it. And then you're going to have a requester inserter here. And then you're going to have heat pipe here. You're going to warm this pipe like that. That should be heat pipe on everything. And then I guess if you really wanted to make sure this thing was expandable, you'd have it go into a splitter that preferably kept it on the outside now that I look at it. Like this. You'd have a heat pipe that runs here. You'd pull this pipe out one more. No, you have the input on the top, you're fine. and then go fast inserter into storage chest. Storage chest would be quad processor. I guess technically that would go underground. Is this modular? Sure looks modular. You would just have to change up the way that the requester test is working at the bottom. I don't think that works. If you mirror this, you can actually double up on that heat pipe. Right? Yeah, you can. You just have to figure out how this would work, and I think it works like this. Yeah, I mean, that appears beautiful, basically. So what are you forgetting? Because if everything works, you have to be forgetting something. We can give little escape routes for our heat pipe. So those have ways to connect. These connect. You don't need double power there, for sure. You can get rid of some of those. This is just going to connect up here. These will need to go under. Which means you'll need a different way to heat that pipe specifically. But you can do something like that. I mean, I think that's the one. I think this is it. And then we just put it somewhere that can easily plug into the heat pipe that we already have. Which, let's say that we might want to continue that heat pipe, though. We could put it like here. Push it up against the rocket fuel belt. I mean, I don't see any reason it wouldn't work, so let's do it. Actually, flip it horizontally, because then we can get the quantum processor box slightly closer to a robot. Alright, make it. Make it, and let's see what we haven't thought of. And then get rid of this so that you don't accidentally try and build it next time you wander over there with your drones and soak your entire power battery all at once. Oh, we even get a... I swear I didn't line these up intentionally, but we even get a square connection with our substations. That's beautiful. I also think you're out of concrete. Confirmed out of concrete. Also, extremely out of heat pipe. Who's supposed to handle heat pipe? It's Aquila Building Supplies. Turn that back on. These are all imported from Nelvis, though. Import from Fulgora. It's had a ton of time to make heat pipes down there. What do we want to push up next? Scrap recycling feels so unnecessary. A worker robot speed would take a really long time. Let's get a railgun damage in there just in case we need one. And then I guess do a scrap recycling. Feels very unnecessary, but might as well. So out of concrete, for sure. Out of heat pipe as well. We should take care of that on Fulgora, though. And then how's your starting going? Steam tank almost full. Ammunition backed up. All turrets online. Still no thruster fuel. We're getting close to that platform storming. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. You have auto-requested everything that you know to ask for, but we are going to need to bring down tungsten plate and carbon fiber. So that would be Aquilo imports. A tungsten plate import from Nauvis. Rocket capacity is 250. We'll bring 1,000. And then what else did you need? Carbon fiber. Carbon fiber. You don't stop at Glebo. That's okay, you can import it from Nauvis. Import 1,000 from Nauvis. And tungsten carbide. Tungsten carbide, import 1,000. Does Nauvis have tungsten carbide? I'm pretty sure it does because we need it to make artillery. But I could be wrong. Don't need it to make artillery. Okay, well, do you have any, though? No. Okay, well, just start requesting it from Volcanus, then. Does Volcanus have a way to load it into a rocket? It has to, if it has requester chests. I'm gonna say it does. So it looks like they've got that one handled A-okay. Alright, good. You are loading up on stuff at Fulgora. But you need a lot of it, so it's gonna take you a little while. Concrete will be good. Recyclers. Why do you need 10 recyclers? Oh, you just need them in your inventory. You've actually got it on the surface, so that's fine. We need to start requesting Aquilo building supplies again, though, now that we have the space to hold it. And then the last mystery that we need to solve for you is actually how to get lithium plate into you. Which we can probably just steal from you. But we could also steal from you. Are you in logistics network coverage down here? No. That sucks. You know what? It doesn't matter. Because you are here. And you're next to a heat pipe. Filter. Lithium plate. All that hard work that we did setting ratios. Nah, man. Time to steal from the belt before it even gets to the machines. If you have less than 500 lithium plate in the network, you grab. Like I was saying, if you have less than 500 lithium plate in the network, you grab. Your logistic filter is lithium plate only. You, I don't think I really need to set capacity on. I just want you to make them forever. I don't think there would ever be a case where we're like, man, we have too many quantum chips. Just let it sit there and produce forever. You guys are going to load, right? Got 2 rockets at 96. You never use long arm inserters in Aquilo? That's psychotic. That's like maybe the hardest challenge run I can think of. I can't imagine life without long-handed inserters on Aquilo. You must have some stuff that looks messed up. Respectfully. Like, there must be some crazy spaghetti. You guys are still working on concrete. How close are you to being done with concrete? That will be the last 2 trips. And then after that, it's going to take 10 launches to get the heat pipe up, 4 to get chem plants up, 1 to get steel up. It won't be that bad. The rest of those should go pretty quick. Heat pipe is the big one, though. Like, I don't mind Aquilo. I actually think Aquilo is a really neat planet. But I like the idea of just using long-handed inserters. I've never felt like I need to make Aquilo harder than it is. I think it's just a really well-balanced planet overall. You're full. Do we not have tungsten plate down here? Or did we just start requesting that? I think we just started requesting that, so that's why we don't have any. We only have 26 heat pipes available on the planet? What happened? I'm pretty sure I set your cap way higher than that. I did. I set it to 2,000. It's because you can't find copper plate? It's because you don't have enough machines crushing circuits right now. It's because you don't have any machines crushing circuits. You really have zero... Oh, you have 0 recyclers dedicated to crushing green circuits. No, they're over here. Why aren't you running? Because you're full on copper wire. Oh, these can jam. That's why. Okay. I need to take you. And I need to move you to here. And then I need one of you. And then I need to take you and put you here. They can jam because they can spit out copper wire and they can spit out iron plate. You don't make passive providers on the surface. Make it a storage chest then. Make it a passive provider. Make it a passive provider. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to not happen. Wait, which one do you not have? You have active providers. Alright, make it an active provider then. It's a wonder that Fulgora actually makes anything. And it's out of power. I cannot believe how long this garbage Fulgora base has worked. It's actually crazy. Request 200. Let's pick up the pace here a little bit. Get these emptied out so that you can replace it with an active provider so that these things actually run. Because I think that has all of your construction bots tied up right now. Yeah, it does. Right, fine, move it to 400. There we go. Now we're moving. And then these should just sit there and destroy copper... Or, not copper, green circuits for as long as we need them to. Yeah? Yeah, but you also need to destroy copper wire. You have copper wire destruction. These are gonna jam forever as well, though. Yeah, that whole section needs to be rethought. That one does as well. You need a better way to scrap wire. Alright, say no more. Move you down here. Instead of requesting electronic circuits, you're going to request copper cable at 400. And as long as you have more than whatever ungodly amount of copper cable you're currently trying to work with, If 391? Yeah, as long as that's greater than like 4,000, you can just sit there and run. And then we'll move this one. Copy these over. Just need 3 recyclers in chain, then 1 feeding back. Yeah, this will work as well. And then it just dumps stuff into the active providers as like a pseudo buffer. This will work. This will do what I want it to do, which is just evacuate all of these green circuits from the network so that it actually runs again. That'll free up all of the backlog. The question is, how many heat pipes did we get out of that? We got 100 out of it. I'm not importing from Factorio anymore. Come to Aquilo and drop these off, because I think that's a sufficient amount for us to finish the building that we want to do. And then go to Novis. And never import from Fulgora again. Yeah. While we're in flight, I can check your link out. Oh god, yeah, your Aquila's way more built up than mine is. So let me see how you've done this. Open image in new tab. You have circuit conditions. Oh, you're just... I see. I can put this up on stream. Hang on. Browser tab. You're relying super heavily on the diagonal heat. Right? So, like, right here. Reaching diagonally into those spots so that they actually touch the inserters. Yeah, that's really clever. I can see how that would work. And then anywhere that you need, like, more than one belt, I guess you can just break up the machines. Also, with everything legendary, yeah, it's just gonna go faster. Yeah, that's really clever. I can see how that would work. I might actually just save that gallery for later. Use it to think about some design characteristics that we have going on down here. Like, this should be fine for short term. Let's start prepping this. You're also going to need another RoboPort down here. You put it there, it tiles nicely. And then just pull another substation over. Oh, that's ice. That's not ice platform. There you go. Knock yourself out. Hopefully you weren't waiting too long on that. And all of this is still touched by heat pipe. For some reason, substations don't need it to run. I guess power can get as cold as it wants. But then, like, hot steam in a pipe simply won't do. That's not even close to enough heat pipe. But you'll get some of it working. The Germans on the way back to Fulgora. Just go to Novis. Import everything from Novis. The only thing we should be grabbing from Fulgora is superconductors, because it's the only place we can make it. And recycling circuits. Well, and steel. Steel is just a raw product. Yeah, off you go. Heat slowly making its way down here. So these... Oh, you still have to hook the pipes up. Right, you still need to, like, actually put liquid into this thing. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. So... I would like to have your reheater just be on board. And I think it can be. In fact, you could put it even further over here. Oh, you could actually. No, that makes a ton of sense. Just have it live here. So you're gonna cool hot. This is hot input. And then this is your cold output. Well, I guess let's strive to make it symmetrical. If we're going to be beholden to these things. Yeah, make it symmetrical. You do make a platform that makes quantum processors? Wait, do these not have to be made on Aquilo's surface? Oh yeah, you can make them on space platforms. That's interesting. I could actually see that being a much smarter way of doing these, but unfortunately I built all the infrastructure already. So I think I'm committed. And then you connect with your friend down here, right? Yeah. So the only thing that you need to do here is you need to feed hot fluoroketone. And hot fluoroketone, you have here. So we'll run this along. And then up through here. Yeah, you can heat pipe this. You can heat pipe this for sure. Do here. Get rid of that. Yeah, 1.5 million SPM. Yeah, you're definitely working with higher throughput than I am down here right now. We're trundling it along at a measly, like, 1500 when everything's on. But I might keep this save around and megabase it later. I'm not sure yet. I do like having... Just trying to mark out our shots. I do like having Factorio on as like a background game. If I'm in like work meetings or something. Because once you get to a certain point with your science per minute, it does just kind of sit there and run. And you don't actually need to be doing anything. So once you get to that point, it is like, you might as well just work on a little bit of expansion every day. You need to come back with all of the... But we are not at that point yet. We are still at the point of, let's build a ship that goes to the solar system edge. And then we can think about doing fancier stuff from there. What else are you forgetting for this? Are you forgetting anything? This should be your shipment of carbon fiber and tungsten, actually. Oh wait, this is the ship that's still turning on. We have water surplus. But we're still not producing fuel because we need to wait for this water tank to actually fill. But we're getting there. And then you are still getting concrete shipments, but like Navi's rocket silo should be working very quickly on that. I almost wonder if we should go to 8. Nah, I think 6 is probably fine. This is just a ton of initial startup, which is why I'm annoyed that it's taking so long. But after we get all this down, we won't need to ship nearly as many rockets out there. This will be fine. Here, have some extra ice. I mean, I actually think this is a nice little Aquilo base. It's not very big, but it generates a surprising amount of science for what we're working on. It almost keeps up with our lab's production. Like, I'm pretty sure that's agricultural science running out back home. And not, cryogenic science. It's also not helped by the fact that these ships take so long to make a return trip. $400 on the way. Good. As soon as this is built and we generate our first quantum processor, that is where I'm going to be done for the night. But it gives us a real solid footing to build the Solar System Edge ship next time. And then after the Solar System Edge ship is built, we go to the Solar System Edge, and then we're done with Factorio. So we are really in the closing stages of this playthrough. 12 sent up, 300 sent up, 12 sent up. The 88 tungsten plate on the planet? Volcanus Provisioner. What are you doing? You're waiting for space platform. Yeah, you need to come back home to do that. I need you to be shipping this stuff a lot more frequently, my friend. You are relatively important to the overall infrastructure of this base right now. Why not work on a little bit of rocket park productivity? I could just send you. There's 1,000 on the way. There's 10 on the way. 50 on the way. $10 on the way. Yeah, I'm just gonna have you visit Volcanus yourself. As soon as these last 10 chem plants show up, it's on site. Go for it. That'll take care of it. Also, why did you not send down science? Is Navi's full? Yeah, Navi's is full for sure. Definitely work on rocket park productivity then. I don't have an ice garbage collector. How do I get ice off of this belt? Not over here. Fair enough. Yeah, I actually think that Fulgora is my favorite planet to scale up. Volcanus, I don't think there's any kind of challenge to it. It's just like, everything's fluid. You just make more machines. Who cares? Laba is a pain to scale up, but I'm sure I'll like it eventually. But Fulgora, I mean, I like the space constraints that Fulgora has. And I know that you can just ignore it with Foundation eventually, but like, building these little islands that do scrap mining is just cool. Like, this is just a neat train. Wanders over here, grabs stuff, leaves. I really like Fulgora a lot. I think it might be my favorite planet. Even more asteroid productivity. Who says no? Then you can actually go straight onto Aquila. You don't need to worry about Volcanus anymore. Wait a minute, you didn't pick up any of your stuff from Volcanus. It's because you didn't tell it to import from Volcanus. That was your critical mistake. There you go. I really wish there was just an import from any setting on some of this stuff. Like, I don't care where you grab it from, just if you see it on the surface, grab it. But then I guess that really wouldn't work with, like, the way that logistics networks work, because it would send it back and forth forever, I guess. It's just hard to prevent that race condition. You are going to need to send a couple of rockets worth. But the tungsten carbide is done. No, you can definitely send more. Why are you sending transport belts? Oh, you're sending those to Volcanus. I see. We're both in orbit at the same time. I understand. And you need so much stuff. It's an incredible amount of stuff. The Sojourner is going to be left out for a little bit while the rest of those rockets fill up. And I'm tempted to say just go anyway, but I'm pretty sure that 250 tungsten plate is going to get used up by like one railgun. I would really like to get those last 3 shipments done. So we'll just have to wait our turn. Our tungsten ore patch down here is doing A-okay. In fact, very few of them run at all, basically. This is the only place where I'm tempted to build foundation and then plunk down a ton of foundation just to get this patch squared off. Because there's tons of tungsten ore that's really annoying to try and reach. Coal patch is looking fine. Calcite, obviously looking fine. And you're still waiting on your turn to grab stuff out of the rockets. Sending all of the calcite up for the Sojourner, for the Provisioner now. And then after that, the rest of these should go pretty quick. It's sending up the turbos and the undergrounds and splitters that actually takes a really long time. You can get 1,000 of this onto a rocket, 500 of this onto a rocket. You should be done in relatively short order. Hello? Hello, George. Lovely to see you. Oh, do I need anything for my personal railgun? Which is here. No, you will be bringing all of that stuff down. You should be able to make it yourself very easily. Alright, we're loading the tungsten plate, but I think that might be for the Provisioner. Yep. But that's all of its tungsten plate on the way. That's all of its tungsten carbide on the way. So we're just waiting for science now. And you should have plenty. Yeah, more than enough. So that's going to be the science going up. And then after the science goes up, it'll be Sojourner's turn again, and then we can get back to Aquilo, and we can make our last couple things that we need to make. And then we can go to bed. Or I can go to bed. I don't know what you're going to do with the rest of your night. That should be last science rocket. Good. And then this is going to be tungsten plate for you. Indeed. Wonderful. Then we have a very long flight back to Aquilo. This is actually the last one right there. Fair enough. Good. This is why we want a second ship, incidentally. We want one ship that can do the logistics deliveries for Aquilo, and then I want a second ship that's dedicated only to either personal transport or to science. Never go to Volcanus again. Change these imports to Nauvis. It's going to cost us a few extra rockets, but who cares? We're at the point where this is basically infinite. The only two things we ever need from Fulgora are superconductor holmium plate. You can pull these because they're basically waste products. Yeah, it's all basically waste products. And I don't think we're really going to need to use these two logistics groups all that often. Well, not spaceman ones. Alright. You're going to Gleba, and then you're going to Aquilo. Finish this build-up. And then we're G to G. You are destroying your ice as intended. Did you actually figure out what destroys your ammonia if you need to? Yeah, no, you did. You make extra rocket fuel if your ammonia is too high. And then you burn it in a heating tower. This one down here, I think. Yeah, that's the burn-off spare rocket fuel heating tower. So that takes care of what happens if you have too much ammonia. Good, good, good. Expeditioner, how are you doing on water? The 8.8. Getting close to being able to start. When we build the ship that goes to the solar system edge, remind me and do not let me forget. We need to include a assembly machine that unbarrels water in order to kickstart this entire platform. Otherwise, it literally takes these ships 2.5 hours to spin up because of how bad the asteroid density is around Nauvis. Like, if you can just get that initial fuel so that you can send them to a planet that has medium asteroids, you can kickstart that so much faster. I do not want to just AFK for 2 hours to wait for a ship to spin up again. We've already done it twice. Maybe even 3 times. I don't remember how long these ships took to spin up. I don't think it was that bad, though. And then we can save the barrels for moving fluoroketone around. We won't need them for the fusion plants, because the fusion plants are lossless, but if we wanted to move fluoroketone around for, like, foundations or something, we would need it for that. Excuse me. You didn't drop any of your stuff. Time passed here? 30 seconds. Yeah, I need you to request. You just don't have the slots to request right now. There you go. There you go. Let's go get all this plugged in. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Now you come drop it all off over here. You may want to think about using prod modules for these circuits. No, you shouldn't need prod modules for these circuits. Most of the stuff on Aquilo is basically infinite. Not completely infinite, like eventually we will have to go find more brine. Because our initial lithium brine, there's like not that much of it. But for all intents and purposes, it's basically infinite. And then we're just waiting on cold fluoroketone. which would be you working on that. Yeah, that's you working on that. So some of these plants are starting to spin up. And I don't think I need to connect any of you to broader circuit logic, because the thing that controls the amount of hot fluoroketone we have is only this circuit condition. You only turn on if we start running out of hot fluoroketone. And this is a fluoroketone destroying process. It consumes 10 and produces 5. So it is gradually going to bleed fluoroketone out of the system. We just have to cool it first. Although, why does it look like you can't keep up? Did you do your math wrong on how much cooling you need? Yeah, you did extremely. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, say you have 14 of these. 14 times 0.66 is 9.24. This only handles 4. You need at least another one of these. Realistically, you should have a third one. But I think that'll be enough to keep up. And it won't, like, keep up perfectly. But you also don't need 100% uptime on your quantum chip processors. You just need them to run every once in a while. So that should be turning you on. It should also allow you to turn on, and it should also allow you to turn on. And indeed, you do all have quantum chips available. Now, I also want to expand out the number of roboports that we have working this stuff, because these are going to drain their power very quickly. And if we have more that they can charge at, then they will spend less time idling. And it looks like we're good for it. Reactor temperature is still climbing, and we're not fully drawing the grid. So I think we're okay. We need 100. We need 250. You only need 50. I want to see you produce one, and then I will be content. Oh god, you burned through all of your tungsten plate already. Yeah, it's all gone. We need so much tungsten down here. That's okay. Well, god, maybe you should put in a volcano stop for this thing. Yeah, you should. If we're going to be using that much of it, then we'll add a volcano stop. All requests satisfied and 30 seconds have passed. Okay. And that can be a war. So tungsten plate, tungsten carbide, we'll get off of volcanoes. Just so we don't have to use as many rocket launches. And that should be good. But you should be able to generate enough quantum processors to let us make our first railgun. Because you guys don't use tungsten plate, you use tungsten carbide. And you just kind of sip it at that. You do also have your first fusion generator. Slow. But they're able to use these charging ports fairly efficiently. Like, they're not queuing to charge up or anything like that. You should also have, like, some intermediary stops along here. You have any more of those? No. Okay. You probably should. How many can you send up at once? 10? Yeah, we'll take 20 at a time. But fundamentally, that is an Aquila base that runs. And it produces everything that we need it to do, even though it's a little slow at doing it at times. But that's mostly just a logistics problem with the way that we've got our ship set up. Volcanus, please. Volcanus first. Maybe you need to wait longer. I know what you're doing. You're waiting to get the extra turbo splitters down here. Because there's rockets in flight, but still. Here's our first round. We're probably only going to need 4 of these, maybe 6. So we're not going to need a ton, but that's what we're going to work on for next time. So we're going to let those things sit and build. What is your problem? And why can you not leave? You are waiting for a single repair pack. Alright, you need to go back to Novis. You're waiting for 1,000 egg science? You're making egg science. It's just slow. But we ran out of bioflux back at the biter farm. So, these may be on borrowed time. Anyway, that's going to be a problem to solve for next time, because I'm going to be done for today. We do not have much left in Factorio. We are going to be able to start planning for our Edge of the Solar System ship tomorrow. It's probably going to take us a couple hours to plan that. Then we're going to need to build it, and then we're going to need to fly there. Maybe 2 more streams, maybe 1, maybe 2. I'm not sure. But if you want to know when that's going to be, I've got a Discord. You should join the Discord so that you know when stream is going live in the future. If you want to catch up on stuff that we've been working on in Factorio in the past, I would suggest you join the VODs channel, which has actually been rebranded now to Chef Plays More, and I should change that exclamation mark command. There's some stuff that I've been doing lately that I'm recording direct for YouTube that is not a Twitch VOD. Currently, that's Planet Zoo. Previously, it was rarest 2. And after I'm done with Planet Zoo, I think it might be Project Zomboid. So if you're interested in watching stuff that isn't streamed, but is recorded for YouTube and put up there, I would suggest you check that out as well. But until then, I'll see you guys around tomorrow. Take care, and enjoy the rest of your night.